See, police, one thing, you cannot say you will not execute. You will have to do it. I have seen that people who follow rules are the ones who die.
Yeah.
Because of the person who's broken the rule.
History of Bangalore's population, 1960 was about 11 lakhs we had, 80s about close to 30 lakhs. 2024 is 1.6 crore.
Yes. And it's going to go up. I used to feel that, okay, yeah, I'm a woman probably. Certain things are a little difficult to perform compared to the main counterparts. Now I don't feel that. When it comes to street vendors, people say that you've allowed. We are nobody to allow. You see, it's the BPP's concern.
But I think this is probably a misconception for a common man, because they feel since the traffic is managed by the police, it's almost like a face of the whole traffic situation.
Traffic constables are at the receiving end of all the abuse and despise from people, but they really work hard.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us on this conversation. This is our second episode of the Citizens Talkshow. We get people like you who are going to come and talk a lot on services, as a common man, to the common man, common conversation. I'm going to introduce you. So you are IPS Siri Gowri, and you're the Deputy Commissioner of Police, which is for Traffic North in Bangalore. And we will cover a few things on this episode, but mainly it's about you and your journey. So we want to understand like how you got into the service, what's your background, and to talk a little bit more about your journey, and plus also your experience of work so far, what you have been doing. We'll touch a little bit about your day-to-day routine, so our citizens would understand how an IPS officer, someone of your position, goes through in a day. What are the highs and lows? We'll cover a bit of that. And we'll touch something which is very interesting for people, which is Bangalore traffic, which you'll be obviously dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So that's something which we will uncover, talk more on. And I think something more interesting is we want to touch is women in workplace. I think especially in the government services, because we do have some exposure in the corporate world. There's a lot which is talked more, but I think there's always challenges for women in workplaces in the government. But also I think you've seen the journey. There's the things changing as well. So you want to hear a bit more about that. So let's start, ma'am, with a little bit about yourself. Maybe you want to talk a little on your background, where you started, where you're from, and take us through your journey from there.
Sure. Thank you for having me over. And I'm happy that you've asked me to come and speak over all these matters, which of course citizens won't be aware of. So to start with, my name is Siri Gowri. I am basically from Chikmagalur. My parents were both professionals. So my father was a doctor, my mother a professor, and they both worked in Davangere. I finished my initial studies in Davangere up till 10th, up till PU, second PU. Then after that I moved to Bangalore. I did my BA in Jyotinivas College, which of course included psychology.
Sure.
And I opted for psychology as I topped the subject in BA. So I did my MSc in psychology from Bangalore University. Then after completion of my MSc, I cleared my UGC exams, so NET exams. So because of which I got an opportunity. I worked in Jyotinivas for some time. Okay. After that, I was trying for these various exams and competitive exams, all sorts.
Sure.
I just wanted to test my mettle and where I stand.
Yeah.
So during the course, I took up these exams from National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, because psychology was, of course, my calling, because my father is a psychiatrist, was a psychiatrist. Right. He's no more. So I had that kind of inclination, and I think, the guts to it.
Sure.
So then I did my MPhil from NIMHANS.
Sure.
And clinical psychology. Of course, it was a all India entrance exam for that. I did it, and then in the course, during that same course, I had taken up Karnataka Public Service Commission exams, and I cleared it.
Okay.
And got this post as DSP Karnataka KSP. So
Right.
I had by then taken a U-turn, gone towards psychology and clinical psychology. I was working with NIMHANS for some time as a contract consultant, and I was planning to do my PhD and further on.
Right.
But then by then I got an appointment into services. So, and I have a history of officers in my family also who have been into police, and I think due to that there was a lot of force from the family that I joined civil services, and I joined service in 2006.
2006. Okay.
Yeah, 6. So now here I am.
That's a long. I think yes, this is your journey till 2006. So from 2006 till 2024, you've been in the services.
Yes. So I have worked in various organizations in police, and of course initially I have worked as ACP in one of the subdivision, Yelahanka subdivision in Bangalore. Then I went into state intelligence. Then I worked for CID for 5 years up till 2017.
Wow. Okay.
So from 17 I was in State Crime Records Bureau for almost 3.5 years till 21.
Sure.
21 I moved into railways. I was posted as SP Railways, which is government railway police.
Yeah.
It's a state component in railways.
Okay.
Because RPF, Railway Protection Force, is not entitled to handle IPC crimes.
Sure.
A lot of IPC crimes, Indian Penal Code crimes that happen in the railways, that is taken care of by government railway police. That is a state component in Karnataka Railways.
Sure.
So after that, I was posted to Internal Security Division as DIG in charge admin.
Okay. Which year was this, ma'am?
This was 23.
23. Okay.
After that, I have been posted here in traffic because this was a vacant post.
Sure.
There was a lot of things which happened in between.
Okay.
So then they posted me here.
I think, were you happy going to something which is so chaotic as traffic, or?
I didn't expect they would post me here, but of course I landed here. Traffic was a new subject for me.
Yeah.
Of course, I have now learned a lot here.
And still probably learning, I think.
Yeah, it takes a lot. There's a lot to learn in traffic.
Yeah.
So it's a vast subject and a very technical subject which needs a lot of observation, lot of intrigue in use to manage. It is not what it looks like.
Looks like it on the outside. I think before we touch more on the the traffic level, before you got into the traffic department, you were there in a few. Which was the most exciting one for you? Which you I think kind of drove you a little bit more each day in and out.
I think my experience in CID was very enriching because I don't know whether it was my luck or bad luck. I was there for 5 years, and during my tenure, all the cases which were most sensational for that period of time were in CID, and I was directly or indirectly connected to most of them. So it gave me a lot of insight into a lot of things.
Right. So that in 5 years, I think, is a good time. So you probably must have seen
an array of
stories and
stories, cases.
Cases, yeah.
CID usually receives cases which are not probably could be dealt with by the local police due to the pressures of the local area or many other issues.
Sure.
So where there is a specialized attention required, those kind of cases come there.
Sure.
So you get to really delve deep into the roots. So that was an enriching experience.
Right. And have you always been working in Karnataka, ma'am?
Yeah, mostly. Mostly.
Most of the careers in
No, I am from the Karnataka Public Service Commission.
Commission. Yeah. So I've been working in and out
Yeah.
around here, and CID also is all.
Yes, all within Karnataka, but of course for cases we've been outside.
For sure.
For interrogation and investigation we've gone out. But basically we've come back to Karnataka.
Understood. So then I think, like obviously your day-to-day now is from solving things in CID, now you're solving things on the roads. But I think it's still the nerve center, the roads are the nerve center of a city.
Yes.
And in some ways you have the great privilege of managing this.
Which is a very big challenge.
Big challenge, I agree. But I think there's also a lot of. I feel that we are in a city which contributes so much to the global economy, global talent.
Absolutely.
And the road network obviously makes the biggest difference. And obviously there's the reason Bangalore is today is because of many reasons.
Yeah.
But managing it is a different challenge. So if you could just take us through your day, ma'am, how it starts. Maybe I think because before we started this interview also, I saw you came in a bit of rush because today is a Saturday. But maybe take us through your general day, how your day starts and what goes through the day.
See, my general day depends on the ebb and flow of the traffic on the road.
Yeah.
And we have to understand, till I was a commuter, I never knew. But once I got into the other side of managing the commutation every day, it is a different game altogether. It's like, it's not the same every day. It's not the same every hour.
Yeah.
It's not the same throughout.
Yeah.
Day or night. Day it's different, night it's different, morning it's different, evening it's different.
Yeah.
And for me, whatever said and done, whether I'm there or not, people will move.
Yes.
Traffic moves. And by the compulsion of my nature of my job, I have to be there.
Sure.
So I be there physically or mentally. I have to be there for my people to consult if there is anything going wrong or if they need some assistance or in terms of decision making.
Yeah.
So literally it starts at 7:30 every day in the morning. Peak hours start by 7:30 in the morning. Our men are deployed by 7:30.
Yeah.
It goes on. The peak is still 11:30.
Yeah.
Depending on the area.
Yeah.
So I cover north and northeast subdivisions.
Okay.
North is from Malleshwaram. Malleshwaram up till Tumkur Road where Nelmangla begins.
Sure.
That's the border of Bangalore, which includes Rajaji Nagar.
Yeah.
Malleshwaram, Pina, Jalalli. Then of course now we have this Chikbanavara.
Which is a new
addition. New police station divided from the same area.
Sure, okay.
Because of the density of the vehicles and the population, it has been divided to be dealt with better.
Sure.
So that is north. Here in northeast, it starts from Aarti Nagar.
Okay.
After that, Mekri Circle, the Aarti Nagar, wherever it starts. From Aarti Nagar up till Devnalli airport and up to the border of Chikbalapur.
Okay, that comes all under you.
So right now, our main nerve centers are Hebbal and that Pina exit from Bangalore. So the main entry and exit into Bangalore is with me. So it's always always a peak hour for me.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because I think Hebbal flyover is one of the most notorious.
Notorious also because there's a lot of construction activity
at the same time,
that is going on, and there's a lot of development that is happening on the north of Bangalore, which needs some kind of planning, of course, because the growth is in geometric proportion. And the density of vehicles is going up by the day.
Yes.
And the roads are the same. And people are losing their cool because of the
the way it's it's a day-to-day. So I think your day obviously starts like this, very busy. Then
by 11 o'clock, 11:30 is the peak hour.
Yeah.
So probably from 12 to 4 o'clock, we do attend to all the other officiating work. Like we have official work, office work, with regard to maintenance of where, I mean, I have to attend to files and
Correct.
other things, probably meetings with my subordinates to course correct their activities every day. We plan that. And then by 4 o'clock again, 4:30, the peak hour starts again. Some days it is up till 9.
Yeah.
Weekends, weekend the peak hour is different.
It's
Saturdays it start from 11, goes up till 11 in the night.
Oh wow, okay.
Because people are all exiting from Bangalore or coming into Bangalore.
And north handles a lot.
Of so entry and exit, and I have the airport road.
Yeah, which is
my strongest and weakest nerve.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So I think then by evening. So, but if you're starting your day at 7:30, ma'am, because on some days you still have to be available. You're saying until late evening.
No, in the sense available. In the sense you can't escape your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
You are somewhere there because I can't be present everywhere every time.
Correct.
It's just that I have to be available for any eventuality. It doesn't mean that I am there. On the ground or I'm in one particular place.
If something happens then.
If something happens, I have to be. It is like you are there.
Yeah, right.
You need to be there.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, basically your day can change based on the situation. So some days it starts very well.
Yes.
But by afternoon it's all, silent.
Yeah.
And then suddenly
something goes wrong, Usually, especially when there is some VIP moment. Usually my
more VIP moment happens.
More airport.
Yes.
More people go and come. So, nth minute something goes wrong and you will have to take care of it. There is no other go.
Yeah. I think, you made a good point in terms of Bangalore North because once the airport came there, we made the airport road. A lot of construction, a lot of buildings coming up there. So traffic is bound to increase. Yeah. And it brings me back to I think the history of, I have some stats, history of Bangalore's population. 1960 was about 11 lakhs we had, 80s about close to 30 lakhs. 2000 we went to 60 lakhs. So I think it's kind of just doubling in 1 or 2 decades. And 2015 we jumped to 1 crore almost, which is about 10 million people.
Yes.
And 2024 is 1.6 crore.
Yes. And it's going to go up.
It is going to go up.
And they'll buy more vehicles.
Yes. Yeah. And I also got one more stat which says that almost 2,000 vehicles are added every day.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. And that's a number which is very high. Another stat is we have the ratio of vehicle to population is 1:1.5. So for every 1.5 vehicles, there's every human.
1 person, 1.5.
1.5.
5 to 2.
Yes, that's.
See, people are getting more and more insecure about their safety on the road.
Yeah.
See, I see from my observation in the past 6 months, I see the number of two-wheelers is reducing on the road. People prefer four-wheelers for a lot of reasons. So when you put a four-wheeler on the road, probably a space taken by four two-wheelers is taken away by one four-wheeler.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
The square area taken away by the four-wheeler on the road is definitely more.
Yes.
And when you're saying it's 1.5 per person, so you can imagine the volume of the road.
Yes.
And when that doesn't move, whatever reason, and you just don't have four-wheelers in terms of cars or I'm talking about heavy vehicles, goods vehicles.
Yes.
Whatever said and done, you can't, there are consumables that have to come in and we are not supposed to restrict that because it is for
it's for
consumption of food and other. Yes. They will come in, they have to come in, life has to go on. At the same time, people have to go to their offices, schools, day-to-day activities, which they prefer to go by four-wheelers. Nowadays.
Disposable income is a bit higher now.
Yeah, higher, and not only that, it's like they feel more safe in four-wheelers.
So they rather invest in that.
Rain or whatever, they're at least
secured in their space.
That is, So, and they can contain more people in it.
Yeah, but I think the problem is usually it's one person in the car.
Yes. Yes. I mean, there's a lot of abundance people are getting used to
Which I think brings to the next point, because
Yeah.
as much as, in your department, traffic, as much as they can handle, you also need support in terms of infrastructure. So we have obviously metro, suburban railways, buses. I feel that it's almost just catch up at this stage.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to plan 30 years ahead, I guess. That's
Yes.
what I feel.
Yes.
But the way things are.
Yeah. So it's harder. I think we have the public transport, which I think just takes away a little bit, but then there are more vehicles probably added very quickly at the same
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Like one thing for the Bangalore traffic, which I am really proud of, being a Bangalorean, is the traffic management center, right?
It's one of a kind.
One of a kind,
in
world
our
class.
country, yeah.
Right. So this is something gives us pride that at least we, in a city like Bangalore, which is the tech hub, we've gotten this. Can you tell us a little bit more on that, ma'am? Like, how does this function? Like, how is it, let's say, different from how other cities are functioning with the Bangalore?
See, we have got huge video walls.
Yeah.
They capture videos and images from all the cameras that are spread across Bangalore.
Yeah.
So there is a facility to watch an event from one road proceeding to another road.
Sure.
One area to other. So if you want to follow a procession
Yeah.
just happening from, that can be done.
Done. Okay.
So any obstruction coming in the other road or anything, that can be alerted and devoted also.
Okay. Right.
And we have apps. There is an app called Astram where
Okay.
our people, that is for inner consumption of
Sure.
police, where there is an event. Like
Yeah.
event is a breakdown or,
Got it. Yeah.
or
Incident.
any incident,
Yeah.
any blockage,
Sure.
anything. It's uploaded on the. We have a
Internal app.
internal app where they upload it.
Okay.
It's on Telegram.
Sure.
So everybody comes to know that there is a blockage.
Okay.
So the ones before and after,
Yeah.
they are ready, so that they at least know that there is something coming. And the one who's supposed to be looking after that part of the road also is alerted. He goes and clears it.
Got it. Okay. So that's the way of
Yeah.
handling it a bit more smartly than
Yes.
what it was
Yes.
being done.
Yes. Every event, every mishap on the road is uploaded.
Got it.
And we have, press notes going, advisories going very often regarding any major event, like maybe a jata, maybe Karga. Karga is a major event in Bangalore. Maybe some other event, some festival. Anything Bakrid, or we have many events, political events going on. Like, sometimes some VIP comes and you are blocking a road.
Yeah.
So all these things are mapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is being monitored day in and day night.
Right.
And we have this MOU with Google,
Okay.
done by our, of course, our TMC, our joint CP and CP. It collects information from all the Google feeds.
Okay.
So the congestion
Right.
is depicted on the Google map, and we have access to it.
Right.
So my area, each one is given access to it.
Right.
So my area, I can see when I open it, I can see where exactly is the.
So this is really helpful. This
Yeah. It really gives us a breather, and immediately we alert people and
managed to,
somehow manage to push.
Sure.
Another thing about Bangaloreans is, they don't prefer certain roads. They prefer certain roads. They don't prefer certain roads.
Certain roads, yeah.
See, they all of them, I see that they want to take Hebbal main road or the service road on Hebbal, just because it moves.
Yeah. Right.
See, you've got other parallel roads, which of
Which
course,
could probably
is easy, but they don't like the look of it also.
Yeah.
Like Tannery Road, they don't want to go.
Yeah.
So they look, people, what I'm trying to tell is, people not only go by,
It's more habitual also, I feel.
they perceive a lot of other things.
While they're using a certain
They don't want to take risks going.
Yeah.
So developing parallel roads to these main channels is very important.
Right. I think so. Like on the traffic management sector, I was reading a little bit more. we did a recent episode on artificial intelligence, and I also noticed that Bangalore traffic is using AI in terms of identifying number plates, identifying.
And we have cameras.
Cameras.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit more on that? How this technology is being used?
It is not everywhere, but of course there are cameras in certain junctions and certain places, which capture. They have been, AI. They have been automated to capture certain violations.
Yeah.
And they pick up, and the notice goes to the person, and he'll have to pay. And if they don't pay, there's of course an option of getting their licenses cancelled through RTO.
Sure.
That we do follow up.
Yeah.
So this is what is happening there.
Sure.
Along with that, we have this capturing of photos and uploading it to the thing. There also the fine challan goes to their respective addresses.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is all managed in the same center.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. TMC.
And you're tracking all of this in one place.
Yes.
So I guess, and how old is this traffic management center? How many years has it been since it's established?
I think I'm not very sure.
Particular about it. Okay, sure about it.
Yeah.
I feel it's more recent, but it's a few years.
No, it's been there for quite some time. I probably think must have been from 2012 to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it started off probably small and then.
Yes.
And I think one more question, because traffic management is one side, but there is probably a lot of coordination you will have to do with other departments.
Absolutely. This is one thing which, I want to clarify one thing. See, whenever there is a problem on the road, there is a pothole, there is a waterlogging.
Correct, yeah.
There is some road which is not metalled properly. There is some, vendors selling on the road.
Yeah.
They've taken over the footpaths. They're selling something. People tend to call traffic police and they lose their cool.
Yeah.
See, one thing I urge all citizens to understand. See, traffic police is there to maintain the traffic that is on the road.
Correct, yeah.
We are there to maintain that so that there are no violations and, it is
citizen moving with whatever infrastructure is
available. By per se, traffic police doesn't have the power to execute or clear or. But I see we are forced to do it.
Because an open drain or water not.
You see, all this can be planned very well in advance.
Yes, yeah.
We keep telling the concerned agencies very often, not very often. It is like almost mandated to us that we keep raising the issue
red flags,
with all the concerned department, be it forest department with regard to trees, be it potholes with regard to BBMP, be it anything, even BESCOM, lights. Everything. We keep telling them.
Right.
Because citizens directly report to us.
Yeah.
We are the ones who receive all the complaints first.
Yeah.
So traffic police is a very good agency which has a fund of information about the infrastructure issues that need to be addressed by all the other agencies.
Right.
Which done in time will solve most
problems.
For example, it's like trees.
Yeah.
Recently, rains, you saw how many trees fell.
Yes.
See, before there are rains, of course, they would be parched for a year.
Yeah.
So the roots would have become weak, and moreover, because of the cementing of the footpaths.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I see that trees, of course, have to spread their roots to hold tight and stand there. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So we can only tell that.
Give an update.
But the department concerned has to take a call and remove them.
Yeah.
See, now when it comes to street vendors, people say that you've allowed. We are nobody to allow. You see, it's the BPP's concern to.
Right, yeah, which is a clarification.
We will give the support and thing required for them to clear it.
Yeah.
But they have to join hands.
Yeah. But I think this is probably a misconception for a common man because they feel since the traffic is managed by the police, it's almost like a face of the whole traffic situation. Fortunately or unfortunately.
Another thing is we are there for people to tell what is happening. We are there.
Yeah.
It's seen.
Yes.
The other agencies are not seen.
Right.
So traffic policeman is there. So you can go and tell him at least.
Correct.
there's one agency which is at least there.
And then you give, I think basically you have the information, you're giving the update, but
Yeah.
action has to be taken from others.
Timely action.
Timely action, yes, absolutely. I think that's a very valid point, because I feel there's a lot of misconception which, you like normal people wouldn't realize this. So kind of breaking away a little bit from this, the traffic. We'll come back to a little bit. I have a few more things on how citizens probably could help with the traffic situation. But moving a little bit more on, being a woman officer in the workplace, we want to talk a little bit on, especially since you joined the services, from there to now, how things are changing for the better, what are the challenges you face. We want to just a little understand, because there is a lot more clarity on corporate level, there's a lot more articles and a lot of things which come out on how our workplace for women has to be much better. But we just want to understand on a service level where we stand.
See, definitely this is a very relevant question at this point of time. I joined service 19 years back. So from then to now, I see there's tremendous change in the way perception of women in police service has changed.
Right.
When I joined service, there was a lot of, resistance. Because we were probably the few women who joined as DSPs. DSP in police department is not a small post, considering the powers attached to it, powers or the execution attached to it. So men were at shock at that time. It's like this is what I felt.
Yes.
Maybe it is different with different people.
Sure.
They of course, I guess they were not used to it. See, any system has to get used to a particular change.
Yeah.
And it happens over a period of time. I see the transition now. Now it's much smoother. It's like they have accepted that, yes, they are going to be there, so we might as well
Get accustomed.
yeah. And now the concept of male and female, I guess it's got merged. And that merger is better, actually.
Yeah.
Now, what I felt when I joined as a woman, I used to feel that, okay, I'm a woman, probably, certain things are a little difficult to perform compared to the male counterparts. Now I don't feel that.
Yeah. You see.
I see that they give you the opportunity to perform. That has come with the idea of getting used to having women around.
Sure.
Earlier, I think they were not used to that. And the police force is more of a male dominated.
Yes,
It has been always like that, and force oriented profession.
Yes. Yeah.
Where there is a lot of toughness, of ugly side of society that you see.
Yes. Which the police see, which the general citizen.
And sometimes I've always felt that, our male counterparts feel that, I think it's the Indian society, basic culture that is imbibed in all.
Yes.
They feel that probably women are not used to seeing the, I can't take it. Probably they're not tough enough to fathom certain equations, the dirty equations of the society.
So I think you made a fair point. I guess looking on both sides, because a lot of the stories don't even come out, to a common person. I don't think you would even see.
Absolutely.
Because it's a very difficult job.
Absolutely.
You deal with criminals day-to-day basis, psychologically.
And definitely this crime and criminality is not what is shown in the movies and screens. It's not like that. It is not at all like that.
Yeah.
And to understand that crime and the background to it, it takes a fair long time.
Yes.
At the behest, when you join it, you also come with this concept of all this heightened excitement and histrionic thing about how crimes happen.
Correct.
It's not so.
Yeah.
it's probably very deep.
Yeah, and that's when I think being a woman probably, and maybe if what you're doing right now in traffic is probably, let's say gender-wise, you're handling something which you could handle it at the same level as a man.
Absolutely. Here, there's nothing like a woman can't do in trafficking.
Correct.
They do also. I've seen our women counterparts working. They do a fair job. Yeah.
But when you were in CID, for example, or you were in other departments, I think there is always this bias, and would the woman be able to handle this situation or not? Or
not really. See, now the system has kind of devised itself to the maturity that what part of the whole see, when any work, any investigation or any work in any area, be it police or anywhere, there are different parts attached to it, and then finally the whole picture is it is stitched together to give the comprehensive thing.
Yeah.
So now that I see, the good thing that I see is they know where exactly women have to be used.
Sure. Yeah.
They know, certain things,
where they can perform well.
their sensibilities can be used, and where exactly they need to be. That kind of a thing has come up, which is a very good development. See, not everybody can do everything.
Correct.
Even being a male, every male do the thing the another one can do.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
they have their own strengths.
Yeah,
and
skill sets are being identified. That is good.
Okay, that's something nice to know. And as I think we were probably speaking earlier, you said the ratio also is now.
Yes, definitely it has come up.
Which
at the same time, I would also want to say that women now the number is going up.
Yeah.
Now all that the women who are coming in also, they need to improve more of their skill sets to adapt to the job. They cannot just remain like that and say, we will do a certain thing, we will not do a certain. No, they will have to cope with it, and because the system is going to expect them to do what is expected of them to do.
Right. Yeah. Because that requires that execution to be.
Absolutely. No. See, police, one thing, you cannot say you will not execute.
Yes. Yeah.
You will have to do it.
Yeah.
There is no go.
Yeah.
So that is how the profile is.
And you have to tune yourself, regardless of gender.
Yes.
Great. So I'll pull ourselves back a little bit on the public involvement, because we talked a little bit of traffic, and we talked how traffic can which is one-sided, right, where we are seeing how it should be done by the traffic police, then how departments should do what infrastructure we have to build. All that is obviously on one side, but I also see a lot of violations. People are not following. They don't wear helmets, for example. They don't do basic things, wearing seat belts. They don't follow lanes, for example, jumping signals. I feel that discipline lacks in our.
Definitely, I really see. Like I told you, when I was a commuter, and now that I am on the other side, being a traffic police woman. I just feel that people need to have this kind of a collective responsibility.
Yeah.
See, what happens is when a person gets out of his home or office or whatever, he only sees the traffic he sees during his travel.
Yeah.
But that is not the end of it.
Correct.
Each one of us have to think of the whole scenario.
Yeah.
We somehow have this kind of, ignorance or carelessness that we don't understand what the situation is. We'll just come to the road, and a lot of road rage cases are happening. Yeah. People losing their cool over traffic cops, and lot of them. Maybe there are minor mistakes, I accept, but then, they are also human beings. At times there are mistakes done by them.
Yes.
Or certain things can't be changed.
Yeah.
You have to accept the situation in Bangalore right now.
Yes.
And you have to contribute to make it easier for all of us.
Yeah.
You see, most of the cases I have seen that in most of the fatal cases, that is where we have road accidents.
Correct. Yeah.
I have seen that people who follow road rules are the ones who die.
Yeah.
Because of the person who's broken the rule. Somebody enters a no entry, and the person who is actually following the rule, going on the left side of the road properly with his helmet and everything on, just to avoid that the incoming no entry thing, they've come under the trucks or buses and they've got killed. So you have to understand that when you break a rule, you're actually leading to somebody else's death or injury.
Yes.
So once you have that social responsibility, you will behave much responsible on the road.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See, I have seen that, youngsters have this kind of kick where, see, what we are doing right now is not, we're not fining them right away on the road like we did before. What we're doing is, now it is more of a reflective kind of policing that we're doing. Like, you take photographs and they're fined later on, the notices go to their homes and all that. So now on the face of it, people think that traffic cops are not doing anything.
Yeah.
They kind of get there's a kick component in it where they go on triple riding and in front of traffic policeman. They feel that, he's not doing.
He's not going to stop us, and
Actually, they're making a fool out of themselves.
But how do we curb this? Because I think, as you said, the ones who are doing it.
Yeah, this eventually I think will have a toll on the people. People will have to pay for it.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, of course, probably there are chances that the fines will directly be taken away by their bank accounts.
Yeah, which is linked.
That may happen. That may be on the way.
Yes. Which I think is how Western countries are doing.
Yes.
The fines are so high.
Yes.
You don't even think of doing it.
Yeah.
Which only recently we increased our fines. Which there was so much kickback and pushback. On the increase. But I feel unless a fine pinches you, you will still violate it. Do it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And there's a wrong notion attached to the fine, but. What is, as being in your position, what could be the advice you could give to, let's say, a commuter? What are certain things on a day-to-day basis? You're going every day to work. I think I see, as myself, I would see it as, wear your seat belt, wear your helmet, and a proper one, not just these caps.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Which is, I think you have this ISI
marked ones.
Yeah, ones.
Yes.
Which is actually.
And along with that, what I would want to say is, please understand the traffic situation in Bangalore.
Yeah.
It is not happening because traffic police is not performing. It's not like that. The density of the vehicles on the road is going up. So definitely start early.
Yes. Yeah.
Start early and avoid all these problems and don't get into any road rage.
Yeah.
Is one thing I'll tell you, because it leads to a lot of other crimes later on.
Correct. Yes.
Just try not to express your disappointment. Don't displace your anger.
Correct. Yeah.
Is what I would say.
I think one of the some clarities for a common person, because one is you have a traffic violation, you can always deny it, or you say you are in the right in the court of law. That's one thing. But let's say you get into an accident with someone, as you said, not to get into a road rage, for example. What are the rights a citizen has? Because let's say someone bumps into him from behind. So one person is not his fault, and then there's someone who is fault. For both people, like, what is the best advice? The one who has been affected without fault, the one who has made a fault, but maybe he's not ready to accept it at that stage. What is kind of an advice as for both each one of them?
One thing is, try to invest into tech. Dashboard cameras.
Yes, dash cams. Yeah.
Dash cams will save your life and
money,
standards and
insurance,
a lot of things. And don't try to solve the problems on the road.
Yeah.
Better come back to a police station.
Okay.
So that if you don't have a camera, we have cameras installed everywhere.
Yeah.
We can still check who's at fault.
Yes.
And give you a proper decision. And also, traffic violations are not like, very, when it comes to punishment, it is not very severe.
Yes.
So it is not going to harm you in such a way that you can't go back to work and do your day-to-day activities. You just have to report it properly, solve it. And if your station doesn't help you, you can always approach higher officers.
Yes.
Everything is on internet
Internet
now.
nowadays,
You can contact them. Many people call us when they are in trouble. They call us. We try to help
I
them
actually
as
was
much.
surprised. I was searching for you and I saw your phone number in the
Yeah, it is always there.
it's all the public portal.
Everywhere it is there. So it is not like
It's not somewhere, which I think is for the
it's a transparent
transparent thing.
Yeah.
So people do call you then.
Yeah.
You do
Day and night, day and night.
Day and night, yeah. Okay. Maybe we won't put this on the podcast. Some of your number, don't worry. So we won't get calls from random, citizens asking for questions. But I think on a lighter note, because everyone's in your space, especially in the police force, there's a lot of things happening. But I'm sure you had like a funny story or something which you want to kind of. You have something which was on the funny side. You want to share with the viewers.
I think I discussed that with you before we started.
Sure, yeah.
See, when I entered service, I was new. I was out of an university, and I was sitting as a DSP in one of the subdivisions.
Yeah.
We had all these, what do you call it, hardened criminals whom we had to, deal with. In fact, some of them, they were like surprised to see that, there's this new woman who's come in as a young woman who's come in as DSP. And they were trying to be very nice to Anil, and then one of them even came and he had almost had 3 murder cases against him.
Wow, okay.
All brutal ones, and he came and told me that, madam, I belong to the same community as you. So
he's trying to get some brownie
points, but of course later on he was also killed.
Okay.
Another year or two, he also died. That is in another shootout he was killed.
Right.
So that's one of the incidents that I remember.
Remembered more vividly.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there is like a lot of ups and downs in the day.
Yeah. Of course.
And some humorous moments. You always need to have a lighter. And in your department, how many people you work with on a day-to-day basis? Like, what's the size
in my division, I have around 1,031 people.
1,031.
31 working with me. Day to day, I will not be interacting with all of them. Of course, some 40 to 50 people every day, interaction over phone or in person or.
It happens over there.
Yeah.
What's your future vision of the Bangalore traffic? What, in your perspective, forget about what it's happening, but what's your future vision?
It has to be a citizen conscious development, if at all, because citizens have to be involved in. This kind of growth that is happening. See, we have to be very judicious with what we put on road, because it's going to affect each and every one of us.
Yes.
Probably if we go at this rate, it will all come to a standstill.
Yeah.
Most parts of Bangalore are on standstill, all of us know. So we need to think, we have to be very judicious.
Yeah.
In the vehicles we buy, in the vehicles we put on road, how we travel. See, I see parents are so anxious. They send their children to school, and the vehicle waits there till the child goes back home. So again, one thing is, while traveling, they've taken that much space on the road. And of course, the whole day the vehicle has to wait somewhere in some other road next to the school. So that is blocked.
Basically.
And then they have to come back again.
In the same.
So these kind of things, and many people have. Another thing I want to mention here is of people not having space to park their vehicles. They buy vehicles.
Right.
And park them elsewhere in some road where they're parked forever, unless we tow them and give them an ultimatum. So people have to be responsible.
Yeah.
See, you can't be irresponsible and say, we are not being taken care of.
Yes. Yeah. And,
considering our population and growth.
Yes. I think there's obviously a few things which the citizens can do, commuting together. If you're going to a common workplace, I think there's already all these things are happening. Probably more technology to help with this, drive more carpooling and as public transport obviously improves.
Public transport is the only way out. more and more of public transport and not mixing traffic from one area to the other.
Yes.
Like now, a person traveling from Jayanagar to Hebbard will block all the way.
Yes.
So if we have more of public transport like metro and all coming up in time,
Yes.
so the traffic is divided to that particular geographic place and they don't move to different, that can be done.
And it's happened in India. We've had major cities like Delhi, for example, got decongested because of, very good metro construction.
Yes.
So it's not that we've not accomplished it in our country. And so I think the same thing we expect in Bangalore, probably just a bit slower than how it rapidly developed in Delhi. But if that happens, I think this ratio, I think, is almost like a metric which we need to see as a performance metric for Karnataka. Right?
Yeah, I know. See, anything that has to be implemented has to be vetoed by the citizens.
Yeah.
It's like unless people want it, no government, no agency can implement it. It's like in Singapore and all that.
Yes.
There are only these many limited number of licenses given to people.
Yeah.
Only when that person dies, that license goes to another. See, if something has to be thought of in India like that, imagine the kind of uproar that is going to happen.
Absolutely.
So the number of vehicles coming on road will definitely have to be kind of controlled in some way or the other is what I feel.
I think it's happening, but probably it needs to be more harsher, which would help curb this number as well.
The collective consciousness of the citizen has to
go off. Yeah. And I feel this is also the purpose of this, conversation, because we want to educate more people the actual reality of someone who's managing this on the ground. It is so challenging from morning till evening.
It is very.
And as you said, it will probably go on getting worse if we don't make any amends.
Yeah, and another thing I just want to mention. See, I see whatever said and done, our traffic constables are at the receiving end of all the abuse and all the despise from people. But in fact, I would want to say that they really work hard.
Right.
Rain or sun or anything, it was so hot this summer.
Yes.
Even I used to feel it is so difficult. It is not.
Absolutely.
See, given a chance, if somebody is made to stand there for 4 hours, would probably,
Yeah, they'll get a heat stroke
and fall.
Collapse.
But they did stand there and did manage it in that condition. So I only request our citizens to understand their plight also.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They are human beings who are coming there. Probably some of them are aged.
Yeah.
They have their own health complications. Even in spite of that, I've seen so many of my constables and head constables and assistant sub-inspectors who have reached the fag end of their service. They would have diabetes or all those things, and still they can't wear shoes because probably diabetes, they have got some issues. They wear normal because they can't wear shoes. Wearing those simple chappals and still performing there.
Yes. Yeah.
So I would just request that you please understand their plight also.
I think you have made a very good point. It is very probably undervalued.
Exactly.
Policemen
never get their
due. Yes, yeah. And it was I think we glorify police in the movies when it comes to solving criminal cases in shootouts and this thing. But I feel the undervalue is on the traffic side as well, because they are literally making moments be in a nerve center city like India. In Bangalore, sorry. So you have to make sure that day-to-day commute and managing this on the ground, right, is very undervalued, which I think needs more credit.
At least an understanding.
And understanding as well.
See, nobody likes to be reprimanded or told not to do something.
Sure, yes.
And these men and women are doing that.
Yeah.
So nobody will like it, obviously.
Yes.
And they will show their own anger and output. I would just request you all to understand that's it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a very good point. We also ask our who we are doing, what books they recommend, what information consumption, let's say listening to certain podcasts or reading certain books or So what do you do in your free time, and would you recommend to our viewers? Something which you think is good for you and good for the
See, what is good for me may not be good
Absolutely.
for you. So find something that makes you feel a little refreshed
Yeah.
from your day-to-day mundane life. It could be just gardening, or for me it is planting some plants or something like that, or even painting. I paint at times, but of course there's not enough time to do that now.
Yeah.
Anything, it may be anything. Just make time and take small short breaks to enjoy that. Maybe going on a ride or drive would make it happen for somebody.
Which maybe you don't want because there's causing more traffic. So
No, outside. But now that has also become a menace because it adds to my traffic.
Yes. Yeah.
But anything that you enjoy, it gives you kind of takes you away from the rigors of everyday life.
Yes.
Is what I think one should do.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's I think everyone goes into, and this is the purpose of this talk also. We understand different parts of life. We want to understand everyone's different background, and you made very valid points today. From about your department, about traffic, constables on the ground, working. I think all these things are part of the talk show. What are your final thoughts, ma'am? Like what are your final thoughts on Bangalore, in general? Let's say your police force, citizens. What are your final thoughts? What would you foresee in the next coming years? What's
Bangalore, of course, it's growing leaps and bounds. So accordingly, we will have to adapt and adopt.
yes,
So we don't know how far and vast it is going to be. So as a police force, of course, we will need more numbers.
Okay.
I think they're all in the pipeline. It will happen.
Yes.
Definitely, it's all becoming more and more tech oriented.
Yeah.
Now it's not, the crime also is not on the ground and not physical. It's become more of virtual thing. And of course, along with that, one more thing is now the evidence that is being collected is more digital but more concrete.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to get away from the kind of evidence that is coming up now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Previously, people used to get away with a lot of lack of evidence and all that. Now it's not that easy.
Yes.
So we need to gear up to the days to come.
Yes.
Yeah. So Bangalore is like one of the most sought after in the whole world. So we have to be.
Technology will catch up.
Absolutely. It's already rolling like anything. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It was a pleasure having you on the show, talking
thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, making time for this, I know you came in very busy already to the show, making calls.
There was a breakdown there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you, has that been cleared yet, or you still have?
No, I think they've cleared it. Hopefully. They must have because, they would have.
So it was great to know, obviously, your background, we understood a lot, what you do in your daily life. So I hope you also enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, it was a getaway from my day-to-day routine. Yes.
And
thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining this conversation. And I hope the viewers also enjoyed this. And if you like these episodes, please comment if you have more questions. Probably we'll help, we'll reach out to ma'am and get some questions answered. So I might reach out to you if there's questions the viewers and
definitely.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.